Welcome to another EDMIKA conversion video. This is the one for converting the FD50 1.2L over to EF mount. This is a not too hard conversion. It's got a rear lens element that we need to transfer over to the mount. Let's give this a try. It's good to have a lens cap or something to hold your loose screws. Now what we'll do first is we'll transfer this red lens element into the mount. So what you've got is you've got the outer edge traveler and the inner edge traveler, and they capture that element. So first let's take the element out. Now the best tool to use for removing the element is a caliper. And we're going to find out that it probably doesn't reach here. No, it does. Okay. It's kind of hard to see. I'm looking through the camera here, which is not the easiest. Is that going to reach? Let me see that. No, it won't. Okay, so in this case the caliper won't work. You can use two flathead screwdrivers, or I've got another tool here with sharp points, so I'm going to use that. Make sure you don't scratch the glass. You can use a spanner wrench too. Some people have spanner wrenches that they get off of eBay. And that won't work either. Okay, so you're seeing live the thought process that I go through when I'm going to try scissors. So I haven't done a conversion in a few months of the 50L. So you just got to get that's pretty tight. So I'm going to pause this video so I can actually see what I'm doing a little bit better, but basically you're going to have to unscrew that thing using scissors or spanner wrench or something. I'm going to start the video after I've loosened it a bit, but right now looking through the camera this is kind of hard to do. I'll be back in a second. Alright, I'm back. So I was able to actually get this in here. This was in the way, but I was able to move it and I was able to reach those little divots. So now it's almost unscrewed. I just started unscrewing it. Basically just finished unscrewing. You can use your fingers, but then you get, actually I'm going to use my fingers because I have to clean this thing anyways. All right, that's the part. Now, what I recommend you do is lay down a cloth, lay the outer edge traveler, the edge mount, make sure you orient it the right way with the glass on the outside. Push that in. Actually make sure that it's really attached. Okay, that was a lot harder than I remember it, but it has to be a tight fit. And now it's nice and flush. All right. So I think if I had trouble with it, a lot of my customers are gonna have trouble with it. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, how tight that is. But I really want to make sure that that thing is nice and tight. All right, so that goes in like that, and now we need to capture that portion using the inner spring portion. So you can see there's a lip to catch. So that portion engages the other portion. That's not working very well. Okay, pausing again. All right, I had a little bit of a burr in there. I had to clean it up with my fingernail, basically. Hopefully it goes better now. There we go. That's now popped in and acts like a spring when you push it up with your thumb, and it comes back in. All right, so obviously you're going to clean before you assemble the lens inside portion well, but you maybe use a lens pen. You're going to clean the lens element, but that's ready to go on. Now before we do that, we've got to prepare the rest of the mount. So what you're going to do is you're going to take these 4 screws off. And one thing I didn't mention, it's really critical, make sure you get a cross point screwdriver. I like Moody JIS, Japanese Industrial Standard 00 cross point screwdriver. It looks like a Phillips, but it's not. It doesn't have a tendency to strip the screws out. It's important also when you got a tough screw to use a lot of downward pressure, and if it looks like it's stuck, sometimes it's good to even put pressure forward. So these screws are really in there well right now. So I'd say more than most. You'll be reusing these 4 screws, so don't lose them. If I had a Phillips screwdriver, I would be stripping them, these right now. And of course, as I said that, I just stripped that one, or I have a really good conversion here. At least you get to see what I go through. I need to, again, move the camera off so I can loosen these screws with a lot of force. And sometimes you can, when you got some really hardened glue, you can use a soldering iron to warm it up and heat the glue up, or heat gun type thing. But be careful with the glass lens element. Don't put a lot of heat on them. Okay, back in a sec. Can't even hit stop. All right, another handy trick that I want to show you is when your head is a little bit stripped with your screwdriver, a very good tool is a flathead screwdriver, a small sharp flathead screwdriver. Sometimes you can even sand it a bit to make it even sharper. But this head, I didn't end up using a heat gun, but I was able to actually push in with this screwdriver, and you can see that the head's a little bit buggered. I'm going to still reuse it, but in the end, this is what saved me. It's a great tool to keep in mind. So this has been the funnest conversion ever for a video so far. I got some customers that need the instructions for this, so I'm just going to push through it and not trying to start again. At least you get to see what I go through, or what if you're going through, you don't feel so bad about it. Okay, so I've taken out these pieces here. We're almost done. Now you're going to use what I call the ED bushing, this reconnects aperture control. So there's a little inside notch here that you'll catch with this outside notch, and also this portion here needs to go between the goalposts here. You can see those two goalposts. So I'm going to move this a bit to the side so I can look in from the side. I'm looking through a big magnifying glass. Line up that notch. And now, as long as that's down, I think I'm in A mode. Yeah, okay, so aperture control is working. If you want to declick the lens, all you do is you got to pop this thing off and remove there's a little kind of ball bearing, a cylindrical ball bearing. I'm going to keep this one with the date on to click. Okay, and now all you need to do is put this on with the other screws. Obviously, you're gonna clean out the. Which I'm not gonna do right now, but you're gonna clean out the. Turn the lens so that it's pushed out a little bit. So put it on the shortest focus distance. Line the holes up, and then the silver screw goes in the smallest hole. And the other three screws go in the other ones. And this will be a good time to explain why I call this the outer and inner ED traveler, and why there's a spring there instead of it just being fixed. On some full frame bodies, especially with bigger mirrors, they hit the rear lens element. So what I did in this design is I designed it so that as you focus near infinity, the traveling set of lenses contacts my inner ED traveler and actually pushes it out. You can see how it kind of pushes it out as it approaches infinity. This allows you to use this lens on all full frame bodies. I've done a lot of testing. It being slightly forward of design position does not affect the image quality whatsoever. Yeah, basically just allows you to use this thing on all bodies. Before and on the full frame bodies, you can switch to live view when you're approaching infinity focus, and that way you get around it. Or if you're using this for film, then or for video, then you're already going to have a mirror up. All right, thanks a lot. That lens is now converted over to EF mount, and this one is reversible. Unlike the 85L, you didn't have to break off any levers, and this thing can go back to original, which is great. All right, thanks a lot, and have a great day. Check out my website, edmika.com, or search for EDMIKA on Facebook. Thanks a lot.